Welcome, 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 everyone, to another fantastic episode of VPR Radio. Here with your favorite Libra duo, Kiana the Goddess, and of course, the one and only DJ FMI. Partner. What is shaking?
I'm feeling good this morning. I'm just making sure I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I have a
Amen.
lot of people that love to, contact me as soon as we get the show started and,
I
throw in their
know.
2 cents on topics. So,
I mean, and that's good, but like, watch the
yeah.
live and throw in your 2 cents because then we can also post your comments, especially when you're.
Again, we can interact with you.
Yeah, we can interact live, but like, don't text us what you feel. That's not, that's not gonna help. Unfortunately. But how's everything going, partner?
Kiana, I can't complain. I'm staying busy. We have a bunch of events coming up with Fashion Week. I have
Amen.
my clubs that I'm doing, Legacy Lounge this Friday. So if you're in the New York area, make sure y'all pop out. I have a game night coming up in the city.
Ooh,
I
when's
woke
that?
up to more bookings today. I
I
forgot the
know I
club name, but
saw.
it's in Tribeca. So
Okay.
so I'm just gonna be dropping that information soon. So guys, just stay in the course. And all the artists sending music, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate the submissions. We definitely will bring you up on the show. Just give us some time to work with our schedule because we are pretty booked and backlogged. So
Yeah, we're
good.
actually booking in April. So I want to constantly remind you guys, hey, what's going on, Heavy? I want to constantly remind you guys that we are booked usually 3 months out, sometimes more.
Yes.
So soon we'll be moving into April. I've already gotten two of, I think there's 5 Thursdays. There's either 4 or 5 Thursdays in April, and
Hmm.
2 of them are already gone. So with two pending, right? So if you come in now, I'll be throwing out like a May date. You know what I'm saying? And you guys have to be mindful of that. Mr. Ronnie, what's up? And I can't wait to be on your podcast. I'm so excited. And I know you reached out to FMI as well. So yeah, that's our boy Ronnie, financial education expert. And if you guys aren't following him, please check him out. We appreciate you for tuning in.
Also, Kiana. So over those days where you're just busy and you're just trying to avoid your phone at all costs. VPR, if you know me, my phone's always ringing. What's going on, Frank Stoney? I appreciate you for tuning into the live. But so there'd be some days where I just want to disconnect from the world. Three
Yeah,
days
I
ago,
do. I have this.
I actually last week on VPR we finished up the episode and I received a random call. One of the calls was from a dispensary that wanted to come up on VPR, so I can't wait to also network with him. And
Very
what
nice.
I also received another call with one of the contestants on the Netflix cooking show.
Okay.
He's interested in coming up on the show. He has already followed VPR,
I
and
love
he's
it.
definitely he's a fan of the show and he wants to lock in with us and come on. And so I'm looking
I
forward to
love
what we
it.
have coming in the future.
Oh, we have so many great guests. I'm so excited for you guys to see who we have lined up next week. We have two
Yes.
fantastic artists. I mean, it's going to be great. And you're awesome too, Ronnie. Thank you so much. We love what we do here. And shout out to JD Mass and the
Yeah.
Love Group.
Shout
Okay.
out to
We have such a
last
great
night. That
conversation.
conversation was very refreshing,
Yeah.
guys. Just to touch on a little bit what we spoke about. VPR, we always leave with a positive note towards the end
Mhm.
of our show. So we going forward with JD, we're working on something that's underneath the wraps where it's a
Yeah.
positive spin on just going forward and connecting and networking with individuals. And it's gonna be something positive that I also want you guys to join in on. You
Yeah.
family here, you family to JD. I know you guys love when he comes on the show. So
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely. I love the fact that we can get into
No, no,
these
my brother.
in-depth conversations and do so from a positive standpoint, right? Because these can be
Yes.
very triggering conversations and they had a lot of heavy weight to them, right? But if we
Mhm.
cannot have these conversations and we can't do so with love, how can we deal with the trauma and heal past the trauma and learn how to move forward? And I just want to say everything that gets shared on such a great level, like when it comes to fighting or when it comes to drama that's happening, if we can share that same level of energy and more to expound upon the whole idea of love being a healing and an active practice, we can literally change the vibration of the entire world because
Oh,
everyone is being impacted. Like, do you remember the time
what?
when, gosh, were you even born, FMI? I don't know, maybe not.
I
When
was
we
probably born.
not have been partner.
No, what's going on there? What's up?
Aging myself, but We Are the World came out like in the 80s and it was for
Okay.
AIDS, right? Which was really rampant across the world, but especially in Africa. And it was a bunch of
Mhm.
big artists like
No, I
Elton
seen it.
John,
My father,
Dionne
he told
Warwick,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, right? that song spread love and it raised the vibration of the world. Like I even remember it. It raised the vibration of the world,
Kiana,
but it didn't last.
it didn't last, but you think we can have something like that now?
I know we can, because you know what is so powerful? The
What's
same
up?
way that we use these mediums to spread our businesses and to spread other people's business, right?
Yeah.
And to share our own personal opinions and to share our jokes and to tune in to see what other people are doing is the same way that we can share. Like the same way that we impact others through those like small acts of kindness that we do
Yeah.
daily. This is literally an act of kindness, but now it can go times a million, because the people that will witness it, it just heightens it, and the person that shares it to whoever they're sharing it to, and then the person that shares it to whoever, and so on and so forth. And the more we keep that going, the more we can get better, because honestly, and you know, not against everyone, but like our people of color specifically are like, and I've said this before, like we're endangered. You know what I mean? We're an endangered species right now, and we're on
Yes.
a slippery slope, and we need to learn how to be impactful in a positive way and how to use our power, our melanin, our impact, our brain, our leadership, our beauty, our innovation, our resilience.
Creativity,
And
our
I'm talking about
culture.
this all during, you know, on February 9th in our short history, you know, Black History Month. But
Yeah.
it is so true. And we need to rein that in, and we need to unify on a greater level, not just with our people first, right? Within that healing, but we also need to heal with the people that have hurt us, and they need to heal
Mm-hmm.
and be accountable for that hurt that has been put upon us so that things can shift. And the more that we do that and have these conversations and spread love, I really feel, you know, I'm an ever optimist. I really feel like it can change things so much.
And just to touch on the artist aspect of it, recently NBA YoungBoy has now saying, "Hey, he releasing records, stop the violence," and he went on and took an interview with Billboard, and he's
Great.
just like, "Yeah, I'm afraid, man. You know, I've done so much in my life and caused so much harm, and
Yeah.
I've put out this music that these kids are listening to. Mind you, NBA YoungBoy is maybe like 21, 22. So he's
Young.
just like, yeah,
Young boy.
I just
Yeah.
can't put out this music anymore, and
Thank God.
and he's one of the top streamers in the world, 70 million, 80 million. You know
That's
what I mean? He's
good.
getting paid because he puts out so much albums and tapes that he gets out of these hits.
Right.
So just hearing him saying
Yes.
that, and now his
That's
fans are still
impact.
rocking with him to a certain
Yeah.
degree, it's going to test the waters. You know,
Yeah.
when we don't, when we're not preaching negativity, when we
No.
preach positivity, some people don't tune in as much.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but you know what? I feel like whether you tune in, right? Like if you're scouting for
Yeah.
the numbers, if that's all you're about, then obviously you're going to go for what's going to trend. Excuse me, guys. My hair is like still wet, so it's kind of crazy. You're going to go for what trends. But when you really have a message that you want to spread and you have a real vibration that is consistent, you're not worried about that, because you know the message will get to the right ears. First of all, the people that want to hear it will organically follow you, right? They'll look for you, and then they'll spread that to their people, and so on and so forth. And then people will just stumble upon you, right? Like we have people watching us in the Netherlands. I mean, sometimes I'm
Yes.
like, wow. Speaking of JD, remember what he said yesterday about, you know, his girl from India, and
Mhm.
like how excited she was that I responded on the live, and I'm like, what? You know, he's like, yeah, she's a
Yeah,
huge
no, I
fan.
hear that. I hear that weekly when it comes to you. People love your
I'm like,
style, your energy, and just us
oh,
being on camera. So, when he said that, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Mhm.
oh. It warms my heart every time, because you know I love what we do, partner. Could not do this without you. You are a whole vibe. We are a whole vibe, and we bring in the best guests. So definitely excited about everyone that we have coming up, including today's guest, James C.B Gray. He is a philanthropist. He's a community advocate. He is a leader in his own
The
right.
man
He's also
that
an
gets things
actor,
done.
a producer, right? Like he's got a long, long, long resume,
Like,
but we'll let him talk about himself when he comes in. In the meantime, partner, what else is on your mind?
oh man, don't you can't do that, Kiana. That's a loaded question. A lot of things on my mind every day, VPR. I'm a man of
He
many
said,
thoughts. But you see, I'm going to touch on this VPR. With age comes growth and understanding of the world. Um,
yes.
and when you touch a certain age, at least me being able to touch 30, I can sit here and just appreciate things in a different light. I can attack my career in a different light,
Mhm.
and you're not always chasing the stage. I say this to say, have you paid attention to them? You know, Mob Ties actually.
Yeah.
Mob Tie, J Prince.
Right.
So Jay Prince recently been speaking
I
upon the
know them
offset.
more. I know more about them than I even want to, but we'll talk about that off
Oh, but
camera. Right. If
okay.
you remember
So
some things that happened years ago, right? Like I was almost present for some shit. So I'll we'll talk about that off camera.
well, you'll see a bunch of these slides that's coming up here, VPR, because that's why y'all tune in. So I bring up Jay Prince just to speak on how he's handling the Migo situation, speaking
Right.
on Offset, Takeoff, and Quavo. Um, that night, I know Quavo. Well, it seems to be as Quavo is close with his son, and that night where Takeoff was shot. But he went on an interview on $1 Million Worth of Game and went on to say this, VPR. And I want you to hear this. This is a 58-year-old man. You know what I mean? Of course, he's protecting his family and his sons, but at the same time, he said some things that was just like, wow, like you know what I mean? You're getting in between people's families. You're speaking on people's loved ones. Like, oh, you said you was his brother, but you're not really his brother. I was around. Chill off with that. The man just passed. So I'm gonna share this clip. I have a few clips here, and we could just observe and talk about it.
Truth of the matter is, nigga, you wasn't, but it's Offset dude. I ain't gonna leave him out. You know, I'm just real like this, you know, because, you know, niggas be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? I don't like them kind of individuals, you know, and the truth of the matter is, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So
crazy.
For you to be taking these positions that you taking, you know what I mean? And I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm gonna just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, you know, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you. And, you know, I have to say that.
So the clip goes on VPR, and I have a few more here, but I just want to chop it up and go into it, you know, quickly. So
deep.
Offset responds to that. He says he doesn't know the individual like that. I don't know you from a can of paint. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Jay Prince responds again.
Maybe his son, right? Jay Prince Jr. But like,
yeah. So I'll go to the next clip. It's sad. I just when it comes to hip hop, these things shouldn't be discussed openly. Someone just passed, and if anything, just leave the dead ones out your mouth. But we'll see. We'll watch this.
so disrespectful.
You want to use. Tell lies in your woman ear, nigga. I don't have time to listen to weak shit. Now you want to fake in front of a camera, trying to hide behind Takeoff mother when I've shown nothing but respect for her and family. See, boy, you acting like you a part of a family that don't really fuck with you because you're a snake. Now you don't know me from a can of paint. Let me see if I can refresh your memory. Remember we talked when you got your ass whooped in Atlanta? You forgot?
Yeah.
Remember when you called up on me and I came to LA and met with you because you was nervous about your wife performing because she had them issues about using the word flute. You
What?
forgot?
It's that street shit.
Remember when
VPR.
you and Charles Walker was beefing and you wanted me to stamp that bullshit? You forgot that too? I
Hi,
can
how
go
are you?
on, but
To
I think
interview.
you remember now. See, this is
Whoa.
when I say blood make you kin and loyalty make you family because of motherfuckers like you that have stuck a knife in the back of the ones you call your brother. Explain. Since you're a real ass nigga, explain to the people the real reason why you weren't on that stage at the Grammys with Quavo, who you call your brother, for the tribute. You ain't man enough to do that because you what we call a tender dick nigga.
Oh,
Takeoff, Quavo, and the family wasn't fucking with you for a while before his passing and still don't fuck with you because you a rattlesnake nigga. Quavo been letting you make it because he got a good heart. There's consequences when you fuck with me. I don't have no heart for no snake, and I give you what you ask for. And by the way, I don't think I'm no John Gotti. That ain't who I looked up to. It's no secret who my OG is. The flag you perpetrate with.
So VPR is just messy. You know, the funny thing is,
So
the way I
messy.
grew up, I see everybody tuning in right now, writing in Instagram Live. The way I grew up is all street dudes or hood dudes or whatever you do, you keep that shit where it's at. This internet,
Period. And
this
that's what's like so confusing to me because I'm like, how old are these guys? The street code he's talking about
58.
loyalty.
This bro, you
Loyalty
made your money.
even hold loyalty, true loyalty means you even hold the secrets of your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Because if they
True.
were somebody that you rocked with, you will never go against that. But you may never speak to them again. You may never talk to them again. You may not even wish them well, but you're not going to drag their name in the streets and tell all of their business, right? Like that's like,
Yeah.
geez,
So
who
it's like,
could out
where's the
here?
loyalty in that? You know what I mean? You're coming to Houston, you're tapping in. What grown man has to tap in? You know, for you
Yeah,
to go online and just continue to just tell everything. Oh, what happened with this? What happened with that? Offset ain't saying nothing crazy. He been leaving you, letting you rock. He
good.
just don't like how the situation played out where one of your peoples took my people's life for whatever
Yeah,
reason, you know.
right.
And it seems like the guy that did it, he's gonna get off self-defense because a punch was thrown first. So,
That's crazy. How does a
you
punch
know,
equal gunshots? Like back in my day,
welcome to Texas.
we definitely fought that out. I fought my way through the hood and out of it.
Yo, we don't have that luxury now. We don't have that
Yeah.
luxury, Yana. The first thing they do is grab a tool, man. It's scary times, but it's where we in. Shout out to Scooter Braun. He has now purchased another artist's masters. He's doing his thing right now on purchasing all of these artists' business opportunities. Lil Bibby addressing that Juice WRLD catalog just got sold. So,
Oh.
Kiana, I'm starting to think, right? We
His
spoke about
catalog got sold by whom to whom?
you see what I'm saying. So now I want to have this discussion. 3 months
Man, he's
ago,
not alive.
3 months ago, I brought up that Future sold his catalog, right? Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake and Future. We discussed it on VPR.
Right,
Now,
right.
what seems to be happening is a lot of outside sources, whether it be other countries, other conglomerates, are purchasing the masters of certain artists, American artists. Like Michael Jackson just sold his for the most. I didn't even see the money yet, but Michael Jackson just sold part of his.
Oof.
So what's going to happen if
Michael
China,
Jackson's asleep, right? Because Michael Jackson has been gone.
So one of these companies in China has just started to purchase, instead of going to the labels and partnering with them, they're just purchasing the masters outright so they could use it for whatever they're doing. Now, if this continues, what's up?
I said, huh.
Yeah, you see it's a slippery slope. So I'm almost like,
China's got spy balloons coming
spy
over,
balloons,
buying up all the
buying
masks.
our artists. They're purchasing in some of our buildings, properties in America, which China did many other countries. But I'm just aware, VPR. I'm the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm thinking is, with all these artists, recouping off, selling their catalog for 200 million, is for the futures and the hip hop artists, it makes sense. But when it comes to the pop stars, which their music will always play, so they'll get their royalties.
Very true.
Justin Bieber just sold his. The thing is, Kiana, hip hop artists put out 3 albums in a year, whereas like a pop star, like a Justin Timberlake or a Justin Bieber, will wait 6 years or 3 years to put out one project.
True.
So therefore, the artists like Future that put out 3 in a day, 3 in a year, can get out of that deal that he just sold for 500 million for that catalog, because he'll recoup and do it again.
Exactly.
Whereas, you know what I mean? So when pop stars sell their catalog, it's great money, but in the long run, I want to see how it plays out, VPR. I need to see how it plays out.
But I mean, as long as they're still making music that's relevant, right? Then I guess,
But
if you're releasing old stuff, but that's the crazy thing about music, is you never know what will be a classic, right? You never know what your grandchildren can sell for $500 billion, right? So be careful. But I see that our amazing guest has come into the studio, so I definitely want to bring him up to the stage. This is Mr. James C.B. Cool Breeze Gray, philanthropist, educator, advocate, producer. I mean, this guy, actor, does it all. What's up, Breeze? How are you?
Hey, Kiana, DJ FMI, pleasure to be back. This is my 3rd time, right?
Yes.
On a lot of shows that I've come on, I've eventually become a recurring guest. And some people want me to be a host, but I don't have the time right now to do it. But I'm just happy to be back on this platform. We have so many people friends in common, man. And it's a great thing because it's let me know that their circle's getting tighter, and we're really making the rounds in a good way.
Yeah,
You know.
very much so.
I love to hear that.
So
How's
welcome back.
everything been, James?
Oh man, there's so much going on. I just became the president and a national spokesperson for the hip hop fraternity, and that's something really big that
Congrats.
I'm proud of, and I'm really
Congratulations.
working hard on.
And during Black History Month, I mean,
Yes.
Yeah,
bravo.
yeah. Oh,
Celebrated.
my,
Celebrated.
my favorite month of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and
You
who
know.
better to have on today, right, than you? You are such a historian, and I mean, so well versed in the knowledge of our people, and your history is so encompassed in our culture in New York and Harlem, and I just want you to just talk, because I know you have a lot going on. So I want to talk about your projects, but let's talk about some of your history and like what you're working on now, and how you became a philanthropist, and what you're trying to do to help impact others and your community, because you're truly a leader in many different ways. And I want you to highlight that for our audience.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, first of all, how much time do I have? Because
We got some
that's
time. We got some
Yeah, you
time.
got time. Go ahead.
okay. Because I did a show last week. They said it was an hour. We ended up going 2.5 hours. I didn't know,
Okay. Yeah, we
So,
don't have that
but
much
no,
time.
let me tell
But
you.
we won't.
Now I'm gonna get to the point because I know how it is, and sometimes you got to keep me on focus too, because I'll just get engulfed. What my
I
passion is what does it. It's
Right.
the passion.
I love it.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, like I said, the hip hop fraternity, which is, and everybody's like, well, what is that? Some people never heard of it. Some people have. It's 2 years old, and it's growing fast. I say that. Number one, the hip hop fraternity is a think tank that's providing a platform for up and coming artists to be part of a music collective and an institution that's going to be teaching them about the fundamentals of the music business and music industry. So many times these
Thank you.
artists get caught up in, trapped off in these deals that they
Mhm.
sign their life away and all of this stuff. And then they end up becoming bitter artists over the years. They're not so receptive to bringing in new artists. They, overall things just start going bad. And what could have changed their life in a positive way ends up becoming a curse. And, it breaks the chain of creativity, of great expression culturally, musically, and we can avoid all this by having a good understanding of how this thing could benefit an artist and a likeliness. All right, having the proper information, but I mean, you got to also understand too, if somebody's trying to take something away from you, they're probably not going to give you everything you need to know to prevent the situation from happening. So the best thing that you could do is align yourself with people who have your best interest in mind. Always consult with attorneys before signing anything. But even I'm all about preventative measures as opposed to counteractive measures.
Do
You know
you
what I'm
know
saying?
we talk
So
about that all the time, Breeze,
Yeah.
about these deals that especially now we see a lot of commercial artists trying to move out, and I'm always like, why are we still not having attorneys look over this paperwork to understand the legalese that you don't get, you don't comprehend, that it's
And
not made for
Kiana,
yeah,
the
just
regular
as a
guy or gal to comprehend.
yeah,
and
yeah,
Kiana, you know what I love about our community or our they say we have so many OGs. There's a lot of OGs in the music industry. So the information, they don't want to pass it down to you. And understand it's a business. You have to do your own due diligence. But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
funny how we have so many OGs, especially in the entertainment industry, that these young artists are still having a problem and there's no
Mhm.
yeah.
problem. So it's just weird. I just watch it though.
And that's how
No,
this fraternity changes that, right? Because you're
Yeah.
essentially creating
yes,
these
yes,
these mentorship program. Tell us
yes,
more.
yes. Well, let me tell you, brother Ken Ivy, aka Pimpin' Ken. Me and brother Ken Ivy have been doing close working on a couple of big deals on the business side over the last couple of years. And along the process, we would have conversations about a lot of these artists getting trapped in these contracts and not doing good and not having the right information. So we said, he told me, he said, listen, I want to start an organization that's going to be able to not only help these up and coming artists, but also give them a platform to be able to utilize industry standard resources in order to get to the next level. A lot of these artists don't have a budget. They don't have money to get in the studio sometimes. They don't have money to clear, samples and things like that. And guess what? A lot of amazing artists fall through the cracks by not having the proper resources. This is another thing that the hip hop fraternity is about, is enabling these up and coming artists to have the resources, aligning them with a network that's already existing that they just don't have access to. So another thing is, we have these, we have about 30 chapters across the United States right now. In 2 years, to have 30 active chapters is amazing. I know some major organizations that couldn't do that in about 10 years. So we got a great momentum going on. When people, especially the up and coming artists, see the momentum, they want to be involved with it. And then when they find out that it's something just, other than what they normally would expect, it's not just a party, it's not just a group, it's not one of these TikToks. This is an institution that is laying down a foundation that's going to help them with their career. Like I said, we're not just doing panels, we're actively engaging with these, up and coming artists and connecting them with attorneys, connecting them with DJs, connecting them with program directors. And see, a lot of these, DJs and program directors say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and nothing ever happens, because guess what? There's no accountability factor. When there's no accountability factor, then you're at the mercy of somebody who could possibly help you. That's not enough. That's not enough when you're pouring everything that you have into your dream and don't have the proper resources to accommodate that. So we identifying. I'm sorry.
A lot of people will, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say, not to mention the fact that a lot of people will use that opportunity to monetize, right? Like, oh, I'll take your music quickly. I'll do this, so you can get
just give me $200 and it'll make it to this guy's email. I promise.
Look at what we saw with all of the mixtapes, right? And the commercial artists and their mixtapes and hosted mixtapes during COVID. I mean, that was like such a major scam. So,
oh man, yeah, I saw that and I was like, damn. And see, the worst part about that was some of the artists at the top were like, yo, listen, man, I didn't really know.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you got to take accountability. Okay, you took some money, but did you know the entirety of this whole prospect? Okay, are you suing those people too?
Yeah.
Because that would be, the righteous thing to do. Like, okay, you know what? They ripped you off under my name. Okay, let's go get them.
That's
you see what I'm saying? Let's rectify the situation together so I got your back too. I wasn't part of this. So, and that comes back to integrity, which unfortunately in this industry is not very big. So that's another thing that we're bringing back to the industry is integrity and responsibility. Because when people hiding behind cameras and behind keyboards, a lot of time that disconnection doesn't allow you to have that personal relationship, doesn't allow you to look somebody in the eye and see if they could be trusted or give them the benefit of the doubt. And you never even met this person. So it's even harder in that way. I like to, honestly, there's some entities that I don't do business with because I'm not able to get somebody on the phone to talk to.
Oh, I can completely
understand. A lot of people are going automated. Okay, cool. Yeah. I need somebody to talk to, and if I can't, I've literally changed companies because I wasn't able to talk to somebody about an issue.
Frustrating. When you need to fix a problem, right? Whether it's even with someone in your life, right? Like you need to be able to have that communication. You were talking about integrity and responsibility. I want to ask you, because going back to your history, and we talk about a lot how the hip hop industry, right, and the hip hop culture is not owned by the people who actually created hip hop, right? So how do you think that the hip hop fraternity, this is a two-part question, will be able to help artists to, get their own piece of the pie, if you will, and then B, why did you feel that this position with the fraternity was so important for you to come in and be a part of?
Okay, very good questions. Number one, by the time a label contacts you and says, yo, man, we like what you're doing, what you need to know at that point is this. For you to even show up on their radar, you're doing the right thing. And what you should do is, oh, thanks for the acknowledgement. I'm working right now. I'm going to get back to you. Da, da, da. You're not brushing them off. What you're doing is you want to gauge exactly what they saw that you might not even see at that moment. But just know that if you're on their radar at that point, you're on your way. They're not going to reach out to you or contact you in any kind of way if you're not doing something right. If you're not, on their radar and like, okay, we got to get him now before he blows and blows without us. You see what I'm saying? So you just, what you do is you put that into overdrive, whatever you're doing, your promotion, your marketing, your shows, everything, just put that into overdrive, and that'll take you to the next level where they be like, damn, we got to get him now. Call him again. Because they know that if they get you at the right time when you don't know your worth, you don't know your wealth, they can capitalize and make you believe that they did something for you. They can give you a boost too, but your overdrive can do the same boost and get you to that next level without them and without them also. Now, collectively, when you get to that next level, you can revisit that conversation with more views, with more likes, and with increased value and say, well, yeah, so now let's talk about this now. By that time, they'll know, wow, he knows who he is. He knows what he has. We can't really get him on, we can't sell him on what we can do for him.
Can't get him on that.
Exactly. So I'm always encouraging artists, yo, listen, that's great. Sometimes you need to see them reaching out to you and giving you a thumbs up to know, okay, I'm on the right track. Let me just put this into overdrive myself so I can get to the next level, come back and revisit that conversation and see what we can negotiate. If that's not good enough for me, then I'm going to go even harder. I'm closer than I was before now. I'm on their radar. And guess what? If I'm on their radar, I'm on the radar of 2 or 3 other people too. Major entities, labels, or whatever.
Or 12. And I think the beautiful thing about right now and the era that we're living in, it is easier than ever if you have the right tools and the resources, right? And access to that and the mentorship to make a killing and be so phenomenally successful independently. And if you can grab that, I mean, there's more than enough for everybody. And once that realization is heightened, I mean, look out. The industry is going to shift.
Which interview was it when we had a gentleman come on here and he was telling us about the artist that got signed from his bedroom on SoundCloud? And when we flew out to him, he's like, hey, where are you putting out all this music? He's from the label. He's like, hey, where you putting out all this music? He's like, oh, I recorded on my phone in my house. The guy has a following. The guy's doing his shows. That he's from the label. He's like, yo, I can offer you this. Let me put you in a big studio. Let me give you this. So we can get you on a deal. The artist looked at him. He's like, nah, I'll just continue recording it off my phone. It's cool, man.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That right there. Knowing your worth, knowing your wealth, knowing what you have is what they want, and then don't want you to know what you have, because then once again they can't manipulate you at that point.
Can't control.
You see what I'm saying? They have to now show you like, okay, the cat's out the bag. Okay, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? And then if you could, at that point, if you could say, well, I really don't need you guys. That's what they don't want to hear, because we've been so brainwashed into thinking, okay, when they come along, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and ride that thing all. No, they're not allowing people to come megastars anymore. These Michael Jacksons,
they don't want you to be the Adele in the weekend no more.
Yeah,
you get too big, because
guess what? They can't control you at that point. Look what happened in both cases of Michael and Prince. Were in the process of getting out and doing it. They died during the process. You think that's a coincidence? Like
coincidence? We don't believe in coincidences here on VPR Radio.
Exactly, and even a lot of stuff that's going on right now with these rappers that are dying and these insurance policies that nobody wanted to talk about.
Yep.
There's no coincidence, especially in this music industry.
That's right. High ticket policies are often. You ever watch Law and Order, one of those shows, right? You've been on it many times and many other
yeah.
Right? This is your thing, right? We're watching you on TV, right?
It's funny. I did an episode of Law and Order one time, and I saw Ice-T on set, and I said, "Yo, Ice, man, we have a good friend in common." And he said, "Yeah, who's that?" And I said, Pimpin' Ken. He's like, "Yeah." And then I watched him walk about 20 feet, and he's on the phone texting, and he turns around and he came back to me. He said, "Yo, let me tell you something, brother.
At that acknowledgement.
When somebody speaks highly of you, when they're not there, that speaks volumes about your character. And he showed me the phone, and Pimpin' Ken had showed him. He said, "Yeah, that's a great brother. You need to network with him." And
Yeah.
for somebody to tell Ice-T they need to network with me, that's something, And guess what? We've been friends ever since that day, and business partners ever since that day. Thanks to brother Ken Ivy, who's like a mentor to me, and he gave me this opportunity to be the president and national spokesperson for the hip hop fraternity. He saw something in me, and I'm glad he did. And to answer the second half of that question, I think that right now, everything that I've done up until this point was literally harmonious in the equation that's happening right now with me being president and national spokesperson for the hip hop fraternity. And I believe in destiny, and there's a lot of things that were happening around this time that kind of fell right into place for this to happen. And I said, wow. Sometimes I was talking to last week about this. So many times in my life, when I decided, okay, this is what I want to do, as focused and targeted as I am, I have seen so many things line up for me that were 10 times better than I could have even imagined. You know what I'm saying? The first time I went to the National Action Network, I said, man, I'm going to be on that stage one day. 6 months later, I was on that stage with Reverend Al Sharpton.
That's
and I did that I opened up his show every Saturday morning for 4 years.
Right.
You
I mean,
know
you
what I'm saying?
were the national chapter president, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I was the Bronx chapter executive vice president. Yeah, National Action Network. And and all of these things collectively, from studying acting lessons at Ozzie Davis's house, to studying with Tina Satin, Denzel Washington's manager, to connecting with Big Phil Gates, Dr. Philip Gates Jordan, who's a 20-year business partner. Me and this guy went from Russell Simmons Music Group to NBC to the National Action Network to now we just relaunched an organization called the Strong Enough Achievers Foundation. And that right there is, we're doing some amazing work with that. Okay. I'm the vice president of the Strong Enough Achievers Foundation. We're building a 14-story building in the Bronx right now. 103 low-income housing apartments, and the first floor is a state-of-the-art community recreational center.
Finally.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, hold on.
All right, I'm gonna hold on. But
let's check it.
Not just 2 apartments in the building, right?
103.
103 apartments in a building. Tell me where you see that even happening in New York City.
Well, check this out. All right, so the first floor, state-of-the-art community recreational center. Funkmaster Flex just came on, and he's helping us to create a amazing recording studio where we're going to teach the kids how to record, engineer, and produce. On the other side, we're going to have Aran Barkley, professional boxer, who's going to be over the boxing program, Olympic-size boxing gym. So we're going to be teaching the young brothers how to fight instead of shooting all the time, because nobody can fight no more. We're going to teach them the fundamentals of boxing, the discipline of boxing, and how to live the fight another day. Okay. On the other side, we're going to have the Career Center, where we're going to be certifying young Black and brown boys how to become electricians, plumbers, and carpenters.
Yes.
Now, that right there is so important.
Life skills, VPR. Y'all hear this? He's preaching right now. Music to my ears.
This is an
now, I can't forget, there's an amazing Black developer by the name of Fritz Jean. This guy was the president of the Howard University Law Review. Okay, amazing brother from Brooklyn. Pulled his stuff up by his bootstraps and turned something amazing out of himself. Came back to the hood, started building low-income housing units. When he heard about what we wanted to do with the community recreational center, he said, "Let's do it." We got a permit for a mixed-use dwelling, and there's also an organization called Mount Hope in the Bronx who helped to make this happen too. We can't forget about that. We came on, the project and had an idea for the community recreational center, and also sympathized with the low-income housing prospect of it, and it all came together harmoniously. Now we are about to do a 5-borough initiative. We're actually about to duplicate this process in Brooklyn. Okay, so that'll be a whole nother show update. But that's coming next. And now, was it Kansas City? They heard about it. Now they want to do. So I'm trying to franchise this thing. You know, me and Dr. Philip Jordan, and Fritz Jean and Street Corner Resources is also partnering with us in this whole collaboration as well. For those who don't know, Street Corner Resources, the #1 anti-violence organization in New York City. I'm also the board chair of that organization. CEO and founder is Sister Aisha Sekou, amazing sister who's been at the forefront of gun violence and violence, period, in Central Harlem for the last 15 years and is doing amazing work. 70% reduction in gun violence crimes, specifically as a direct result of her initiative and her program.
Yes, and we
I'm
need
sorry,
that.
y'all.
No, I needed all of that. This is what
I'm
we need.
so proud of you. Yeah, you just fed every like energized little cell in my body. Truly.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, I'm tired of talking.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people are like, yo, man, you ain't telling me about. Yeah, well, guess what? You're seeing it now, and you're hearing
That's
about
right.
it now because it's already in action.
Our baby,
Like
because we give the exclusives.
this building is already at the 7th floor of 14 floors. Right now, we grand opening is going to be in August, and you guys will definitely be there at the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Oh, absolutely.
All right?
It'll be a pleasure. For sure.
So
proud of you, Bree. Amazing. Listen,
No,
I've known
listen.
you for many years. I met you through your cousin, and you have never stopped being on the go and never stopped like being so inspiring, motivating, and just dropping knowledge and continuing to show, especially our people of color, how you can be positively impactful. So we want to know, obviously you've got all of these things on your plate. Tell me how you manage it all and how you're able to find the time to decompress, because we love also to talk about mental health here and keeping yourself from becoming overwhelmed, right? That's such an important part of our community and generational traumas and kind of healing, which is an ongoing process. Tell us how you're able to handle this whirlwind of your life, right? And not stay positive. How do we be more like you?
Okay, well, let me tell you, it's not easy, but let me tell you this. I'm at a point right now in my life where I went through an amazing transformation in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, I quit smoking cigarettes, I quit drinking alcohol, I quit eating meat, and now I'm 4 months without sugar. That right there is a whole nother level of discipline. But if you can understand, there's a thing called the glucose effect. The glucose effect is when you have so much sugar in your body that it starts to affect the way that you think and process information. A lot of people are making decisions that end up in prison, end up in jail, end up deceased because the glucose effect is clouding judgment and not allowing you to focus really on what's your best interest in mind. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that people are doing this. It does have the ability to affect your, cloud your judgment and focus. So
true. Yeah.
I went on this journey of cleansing the body of anything that kills the human body. Like if I look at something right now and it has ingredients on the back of it, I can't eat it because God didn't create this. A lot of sickness and illness that affects the body. You can get proper rest. You can look like you're doing great and everything, but guess what? We still have to deal with the hardcore facts of heart disease, of diabetes, and all these other illnesses that are ravishing us as a people.
High cholesterol.
So I said, you know what? I want to live as long as I can. I'm actually doing research right now, studying people who are 100 years and older. Mm-hmm. I'm studying their diets, their life patterns, their decision making process, and everything, because I want to be here long enough to help as many people as I can. I can't. I was going through a process where I'm telling people how to be great, and I'm dying internally from smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. You see what I'm saying? So I had to say, you know what? Let me first get myself together physically, mentally, spiritually, and then I can really help even more people. Then I can, because I'm telling people all this great stuff, but I'm smoking Newport 100s every day. You know, so that's something that reflected on my character. I like to practice what I preach, and I like for people to learn how amazing it is to love yourself first. Then you can love others. Then you can help others. You see, a lot of people don't understand this. So I went through a physical, spiritual journey of cleansing my body and learning how to get more rest. That's another thing too. If I'm out all day networking and going to events and everything, guess what? The next day, I'm down resting. Okay, you got to find out how to balance that out. I used to burn out, man. I used to have headaches all the time. I haven't had a headache in about 9 months, which is amazing because with my high stress, activity and lifestyle, I used to have headaches all. I used to walk around with a bottle of Excedrin.
Yeah.
Then I saw this video about how acetaminophen is killing people. That's the main ingredient in Excedrin. So
Yeah.
I said, whoa, so when I got my diet on track, so many things, and my body went through a transformation. And the final destination with quitting sugar, man, 90 days after quitting sugar, my eyesight increased. I lost 33 pounds. I mean, my whole
Oh,
body just transformed. I wasn't having these headaches. I wasn't having these stomach issues or anything. All of that stuff was just gone, man. I
wow.
wake up in the morning. I drink a green drink. It's a really good green drink. I'll send it to you so you can check it out. I drink
Okay.
my green drink. I don't eat anything solid until about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Nothing solid goes into my body until about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At that point, I'll have an avocado, some blueberries, some the little cherry tomatoes, and either an orange or some pistachio nuts. Okay, that's like lunch. For
So
dinner, I'll
you
have.
maintain that alkaline diet, right? You maintain that, you know,
Well, let me tell you,
in
not
your peak
eating meat
property.
it's also transformed my body too.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
in such a good way, and like then I'm intermittent fasting too,
Yeah.
and which is a whole nother healing process. When I tell people I'm about to be 43, they be like, "What? 43?"
Right.
Look like
But
you're in your 20s.
I'm telling you, and your
You're
and
skin
you
is
know
looking
what?
like
always
you're in your
look
20s, my
good
brother. What the fuck?
for sure.
I said I can't wait till I'm 50 because guess what? I'm not going to look like it,
That's
and
right.
I'm not. But let me tell you, along the process of studying people who are live to be 100 and older, I ran across a couple of people that still eat meat, that still do, but all those people had something very interesting that they told me. They said that they are they don't allow anybody to stress them out.
Uh-huh.
That is so important.
The environment. Yeah.
Lowering your stress level can
Hmm.
help you live a long time.
Right.
And but see, let me tell you, as a black person in the United States of America, it's very hard because
Right. It ain't
and
easy, right?
it's extremely hard.
Yeah.
So what I try to get people to understand is this: you can only be affected as much as you allow somebody to affect you.
That's right.
And once you understand that factor of control within oneself, you will understand that nobody is ever supposed to be able to take you outside of your character. I
Damn
just saw
right.
an interview with a guy. He said he was in prison and they interviewed him. They say, listen, if somebody said something crazy to you right now, what would you do? He's like, man, I would shoot him, kill him. He said, and this is why you're in prison right now.
That's
If
right.
somebody can allow you to be taken outside of your character because somebody says to you, now
Yeah.
somebody physically put their hands on you or mess with your family, that's a different story.
Right.
But there's nothing that anybody should ever be able to say to you to bring
Hmm.
you outside of your character to want to harm them or even to want to retaliate. Because guess
Right.
what? That's not your burden.
Yep.
God handles all that stuff. Once
Yeah,
you
that's
step into that retaliation part, okay, now you're guilty by association. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
and you're
So,
lowering your entire vibration, and we talk about this all the time too,
oh
right?
man,
When
yeah,
you
I'm big on
lower your
vibration.
when you lower
Yeah,
yourself to other people's vibration to meet them where
yeah.
they're at, all you're doing is a disservice to yourself. It's not going to get better from there, right? It's just going to
It,
deteriorate.
it can't get better if you understand the laws, of vibration.
Yep.
It can't get better. So what happens is, a lot of times, people don't understand, but there's people that you don't even resonate on their radar because your
Yeah.
vibration is so low. You know what I'm saying? And not saying you're better than anybody, but you, I think it's good to be resonated on that energy level in order to identify what's not conducive to your energy. You know what
Agreed.
I'm saying? You
Hmm.
acknowledge everything, but there's certain things that you just don't want to feed into. You don't want to give energy to anything that's negative. And I'm always in the resolutionary prospect of things. How can we resolve this issue? There doesn't have to be beef going on for years. This is something little, but sometimes people, when you see that wall, okay, you know what? They're not even trying to resolve this issue.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna holler back at you. Peace. I'm out.
Some people you gotta leave, let them be in their own devices. It's all right. You do
There's people that I've met for the first time, and I feel the energy. I'm like, oh, whoa, nice to meet you, brother. I'm out because I can't even get caught up in that. You're not to judge anybody, anything like that, but I feel energy, and I know a lot of times, how things are gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, I'm big on energy and vibration and understanding what's best for me. I, you know, I've avoided a lot of situations by being able to have that foresight of what I don't want to be involved in, and the kind of interactions that I don't do. There's things that I don't do anything that's destructive, derogatory, demeaning. No, I have too many. I got a lot of young people that look up to me as a mentor and as someone that they want to, be like. And this is not the kind of image I want to portray to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm really big on that. Even as a kid, I was second oldest of 9 children. So my mother let me know very early, they're watching you. They're gonna want to do everything that you do. So don't give them the reason to want to do anything bad or anything that they shouldn't.
Those leadership skills like ingrained.
I've always been in that leadership position. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, James, make sure you tell everybody where they can find you on social media, everywhere, where they can sign up for everything that you're doing, because they're loving the interview, and I see them going up in the live right now.
Oh man, listen, I wish we could go longer. You can find me all across the board, James C.B Gray, JAMES CB GRAY, and also my new page for the hip hop fraternity is HHF_president. Okay, as the president and national spokesperson for the hip hop fraternity. And man, there's so much more, but we got to do it.
Bring you back and just give you a full hour. We're gonna have to give you a full hour. Yeah, full segment specifically for you, because there's so much to touch on. And unfortunately our time, especially as we sit with amazing guests like yourself, it just it goes zoom,
it really
zoom,
flies.
Right? Like even when we were in the studio together, I remember it was like, wow, we could sit here and talk for hours, but we had somebody coming behind us, so we're definitely going to have you back, and we really, really appreciate it. We would love to end our show with, we always like to end with positivity, but how about, we were talking about self-love. Let's talk about how to end with self-love so that people can take this message from today and take it forward and pay love forward.
Oh man, self-love is so important. When I see a lot of these young ladies out here, eyelashes, crazy colored hair, I mean, that some people like that, that's great. but no, I mean, I'm not saying in a crazy way, but
colored hair.
No. I see a lot of what the worst part about that is, I see a lot of young ladies that are doing things to impress people, doing things to try to get people's attention and all this stuff. And I just think that if they knew, and sometimes people down the line be like, wow, I can't believe I did that. Even me, I was very impressionable as a teenager, which is the most critical time ever for impression. And I was always encouraged them, listen, look in the mirror, okay? God created you like this, and he created you in an image for you to love who you are and want to be you, and not have to be somebody else, and not have to try to impress others. The people that really love you are going to gravitate to you, that your energy, not what you put on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always trying to get the young people to understand that your true friends are going to be with you through thick and thin, through ups and downs, and all of that stuff. But you loving yourself is what makes other people want to love you and want to get to know you. When people see me, they be like, man, you're amazing. And I'm like, this is a process of me getting to love myself. Because as an activist, I said, I want to just help. I want to help. And guess what happened? I ended up in criminal court, family court, and housing court because I couldn't pay bills because I was so focused on trying to help everybody else and I wasn't helping myself. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stabilize help yourself, love yourself first, and then you can love others, and then you can help others. Without that, you can that without that, what that develops a person that has a heart to want to help, but has become bitter because they don't have the proper resources, they don't have the proper understanding. So we don't. That's the worst kind of situation to have. Is somebody that was like, yeah, man, I used to be into all that, but now I don't want to help nobody. And it's
You're
because
so right.
of the reaction that happened because you weren't doing it the right way by helping yourself and loving yourself first.
Bert, you loved others to your own detriment, right?
Yes, yes, yeah, and that happens. You know what I'm saying? You don't love yourself, you're gonna put yourself out there, and when you don't get what get back what you deserve out of it, instead of stepping back and say, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna put myself all the way out there unless I know that this is a mutual understanding, unless I know that we have the same common interest in mind and all this. So relationships across the board have to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? The reciprocity has to be there. So in our society, there's so much that's not talked about in a meaningful sense of what people go through, because we're so caught up in the hype and what's trending, TikTok, Twitter, and all this stuff. We kind of lose track of the fundamentals of and the building blocks that create the foundation for you to stand on to have anything substantial. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I hope that wasn't too far off the cuff.
It wasn't.
Right?
No,
No. Yeah, listen, you are educating the masses, and we absolutely appreciate that. It is everything, okay? Because it all starts here, right? That happiness, that self-love, it all begins with you. And we thank you so much for sharing so much, just a small piece, I know for sure, but so much of your journey. Hit my line. We will definitely get you booked for the spring so we can bring you back on and give you the time that you so much deserve.
And VPR, I am clipping a lot of these segments because I can't wait to post them on Instagram of just like your positive thoughts. And I know it's
yeah, man. Let's go. Oh, also we got the Hip Hop Fraternity Awards coming up April 15th, man. And I'll be in.
What's going on?
We're gonna be down in Atlanta.
Okay.
For the we got, man, what's it, Ice-T coming out, young DC Young Fly, Boosie, it's a bunch of celebrities. But even beyond all the celebrities, which is a lot of celebrities, we're going to be highlighting a lot of up and coming artists who've been showing a lot of promise and a lot of progress and dedication. And that's something that's very important. You gotta uplift people who are giving effort and going above and beyond the call of duty. You know what I'm saying? I'm so big on it.
Something that people can purchase tickets for? Like, how can they get tickets?
Yeah. If you go on to, all right. So first of all, I'm sorry. Go on to the hiphopfraternity.com. Okay. THEHIPHOPFRATERNITY.com. The hip hop, because a lot of people just type in hip hop fraternity, but it's the THE hip hop fraternity. You can find out how to get tickets to the hip hop fraternity. The hip hop fraternity awards is we're looking to take the place of what the Source Awards used to be. Okay, or even bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because they stopped doing a few of those award ceremonies, and we have, we're not just going to be awarding the celebrities and the superstars. We're going to be awarding some up and coming artists who really deserve it. And you can also there's also shows you what it takes to be able to perform at the Hip Hop Fraternity Awards too. So any up and coming artists that want to be on a major stage like the Hip Hop Fraternity Awards, go onto the website thehiphopfraternity.com, and there's also a way that you can find out how you can be backstage with all the celebrities too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm one of the speakers at that event. I'll be announcing that night. But it's going to be amazing. This is our second annual Hip Hop Fraternity Awards, but we're getting so big that next year we're already projecting something astronomical. We're going to be at South by Southwest. I'll be on the South by Southwest stage this year, talking to everybody about what the hip hop fraternity is and what we're doing. So if you're at South by Southwest, you'll see me out there with Brother Ken Ivy and Lady J. Oh, big shout out to Lady J, man. She's somebody on our board that's been doing some amazing work and keeping this thing together, keeping things professional with all of the paperwork that we got to send out and everything like that. And
Is she a
brother,
publicist?
huh?
Is she a publicist?
Yes, she knows you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just for another guest. I'm like,
Is she a
that name is
Yes.
so familiar.
Yo, Lady
'Cause
J is our national ambassador, and she's like the glue.
fantastic.
You know,
Yeah,
when me and her linked up, man, we took this thing to a whole nother level. And brother Ken Ivy is so happy about it, man. He's just loving us, and we loving him for giving us the opportunity. And like I said, this is perfect timing for me and for HHF and everything that's happening right now, man.
Well,
beautiful.
VPR,
You
I'm
know
on
what
the site right now. I'm looking at it in front of me. I'm loving the way the site looks. I see Pimpin' Cannon. When I see the name, I'm gonna say, hey,
I'm saying?
hey, the site's official, VPR. Please go and sign up. Make sure you
Yeah, everybody sign up. Even if you're an up and coming artist, you can join right now, and you can have access to these programs for artists, studio, video, all kind of rewards and things going on. Yeah, that's it right there. You know what I'm saying?
guys, please make sure you sign up. I'm gonna head to the top of the page. You can see everything
Yep.
that they have to offer. I'm loving the look of it, and I can't wait to.
Yeah,
So I
that's
might
dope.
pop out the South by Southwest with you. I have a few events out there, so I got
telling
you.
No, yo. We're looking for DJs right now, man. And we're tied into all the DJ pools and everything across the United States.
Holla
You know,
at
you
FMI. I'm
know,
gonna pass you his
No.
information as soon as we get off of here, so you guys can
yeah,
chat.
yeah. I'm sorry, yo. I'm sorry.
All right, it was a
We
great show.
gotta
I'm
go.
loving this. The people are still tuned in. They stayed with us. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta close out. I gotta get these kids from school, or I'm gonna have problems. But we absolutely love when you come on the show. I will pass you his information. I will get you booked so that we don't miss another beat. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure
Thank
you
you,
visit www.thehiphopfraternity.com. It's pinned in the comments. It's scrolling across the screen. This is VPR Radio. We love you for watching, partner.
I'll see you guys later next Thursday.
All right, you
peace, y'all.
have a
Mad
wonderful.
love. Thank you once again for having me, and I can't wait to be back. Let's do something after the Hip Hop Awards so we could do a recap.
I'm
Let's
here
do
for
it.
it. Just
All
reach
right.
out. I'm here for it, and I'll do the same.
All right,
That's
guys.
All right, guys. Be great
All
on
right.
purpose. All right. We love you. We'll see you next week.
All right.